Okay, so for tonight's dinner, I'm going to do a quick meal. Hopefully it's quick. We'll see how this goes. So out of the freezer, I put a roll of pork sausage. This is defrosted. I had it in some water and defrosted that. So that's ready to go. I found these in my pantry. Long grain and wild rice. I have 2 of them. So I'm going to cook those up. This is not enough for my family. So I'm going to bulk it up with a cup of brown rice. And I soaked it because I want this to cook the same time as this. If you soak your rice, it cooks a lot faster than it would if you just put it in just dry or after you washed it and put it in, because you really should wash your rice. But I washed it, I've soaked it now. As you can see, the water is clear. So I just have some bacon fat here in my saucepan, and this is from bacon from breakfast or whatever to the lard. And I'm just going to brown up my sausage here. So my sausage is done. I'm going to set it off to the side, and I'm going to cook my rice right in the same saucepan. Before I put my rice in the saucepan, I decided to chop up an onion and some peppers that I had in the freezer. The onion is from last year's garden. The peppers is from last year's garden, but I had them in the freezer. And I'm just going to put a little bit of color on these. Maybe not even that. I'll just let them down. And then I'll get my rice in here. So I've got in my rice. I'm just going to toast it a little bit before I add in my liquids. Okay, I've got my rice toasted. I'm going to put in the packets. And the seasonings are stuck in the bottom. And start adding in my liquid. Okay, so I've got all my wild rice in and the spices. I've got my liquid, and I'm going to let it come to a simmer, put the top on it, and then just let it cook. Okay, so I brought it up to a boil. I'm going to put my lid on it, turn it down to simmer, and let it go for about 20 to 25 minutes or so. Okay, so my rice is cooked, and I am going to bulk this up even more. First thing I'm going to do is, I did try it. It is fully cooked. I'm going to add, see if I can do this one-handed without cutting my hand. I'm going to add some crushed tomatoes. I would have done diced. That's the first thing I put my hand on. So I'm going to add some of that in. Okay, so now that I've got the crushed tomatoes in, I wish I would have done the diced tomatoes, but it's going to have to go for now. So now that I've got those in, I'm just going to add back in the onions, the peppers, and the meat. We're going to get that in. 1-pot meal, folks. Easy peasy. Less dishes to wash also. And I'm going to serve it with just a side of veg. And there we go. That's the nice dinner. Dirty rice, well, my version of it. And some glazed carrots. Yep, that works. So once a month or so, we do breakfast for dinner. And tonight happens to be that night. So I have some scrambled eggs here, and I have some bacon frying. We are going to keep it nice and simple and easy tonight. So I'm just going to scramble these up and put some cheese in them. And that's going to be dinner tonight. Breakfast for dinner. And here it is. Yep. I always ask, do they want some eggs with that ketchup? But that's how they eat it. Okay, so for tonight's dinner, I have some leftover mashed potatoes from last night's dinner. I have some, just a little bit of bacon, probably about 3 or 4 strips that we had for, I think it was 2 nights ago, for breakfast for dinner. And then I have some sharp cheddar cheese here, and I'm going to make some potato pancakes. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is stiffen these up a little bit. I usually use potato starch to do that, but somebody asked me if cornstarch would work. So I'm going to try adding in cornstarch instead of my regular potato starch. Ashley actually at Martin Midlife Mr. Venture actually commented this. She wondered if cornstarch would work. So we're gonna try some cornstarch in here. I added about 2 tablespoons, which is about 1/4 cup. I'm gonna get that mixed in. So I then took out a portion, rolled it into a bowl. I've chopped up my cheese. I've broken up my bacon here. And all I'm gonna do is like make a well in the center. And I'm gonna drop in some cheese and some crumbled up bacon. Put some bacon in there. And we're gonna close it back around, like encase it. So I put a little bit of bacon grease in my frying pan, and that's what I'm gonna fry them up in. Okay, so I've got all my potato patties stuffed. You can see this one, the cheese is poking out a little bit. So all I'm gonna do is put a little bit more on top and just mush it in together. They are very forgiving. Just put it on there. I'll get it on there. And just make sure it's all encased so it doesn't ooze all over the frying pan. So into the frying pan they go. And they're gonna brown on each side. Pretty much everything is cooked. I'm just adding a little bit of color to the outside and warming everything through. Maybe 5 minutes on each side. It's on a low medium heat. And like I said, I'm just warming everything through. Everything's already cooked. So here they are. Kind of mashed that one up a little bit, flipping it, but that's okay. All goes down the same way, right? So I guess you can use cornstarch instead of the potato starch, Ashley. So it did work. I don't think it's as firm as the potato starch. Maybe I should have added a little bit more of the cornstarch, but it did work. It did stiffen it up. So yeah, if in a pinch, I need to use the cornstarch, I will. And there is tonight's dinner, potato pancakes stuffed with cheese and bacon, with a side of mixed veg. And this is it for the 2026 Three Rivers Pantry Challenge. This is my last dinner of that challenge, and it was awesome. We got through a lot of stuff in this challenge. Hopefully you did. Tonight's dinner, I am gonna do a play on white chicken chili. So I have some navy beans, some light kidney beans, some whole kernel corn. I have 2 onions from last year's garden. This one's starting to sprout, and it's the only one that is. So it's time for that one to go. Some garlic from last year's garden. Yeah, I'm kind of rationing it. Only have 3 bulbs left. Yeah, I definitely didn't make enough. Some rotel with the green chilies. I have some peppers that we put on our pizza the other night and I have them left. Use them up. Some Swiss chard out of the freezer. I don't have any cream cheese. So I'm going to make do. This was in my freezer and I'm going to use some of that up. Yep, as you can see, it's still frozen. And then I have some chicken breast chunks. And that's what we're going to use for the meat. So to make this more of a cream cheese consistency, I took the cottage cheese, some whole milk, and I mixed the two together. And yeah, I am going to use this in replacement of the cream cheese in this recipe of white chicken chili. Okay, so in my pot I have a little bit of butter, some lard, and of course it's time to flour it up. Some flour. It's probably more than I'll add some more butter if needed, but it doesn't have to be exact. Just kind of eyeball equal parts flour and whatever fat of your choice. And as you can see, I'm making a roux, and that's how I'm gonna start my white chicken chili. Okay, so I've got my roux going. I chopped up my onion and whatever leftover peppers I had in the freezer. We're gonna put those in there as well. Get those going. So while I have my roux and my onions and peppers going, I measured out my spices. There is, so for spices, I have white pepper, garlic powder, onion powder, cumin, chili powder, some smoked paprika, and then just my, my no salt seasonings. That's got like parsley and peppers and different stuff in it as well. So that's what I got going in. Just sprinkle it on in there. And just sprinkling my spices into a hot pan, it just wakes up everything, just gets all the aromatics going. Okay, so now to finish off my roux, I'm using the water off of my corn, going in there. And I'm using the broth off my chicken. Both tins. I'm going to get that in there. The second tin. And get my roux going, thickening up. It already smells so good. Okay, so here it is. I did add in another pint of broth because I thought it was a bit too thick. So I'm just going to start adding in my corn. In goes my corn. I did drain my beans. In goes my beans. In goes my navy beans. Get them all in there. Okay, so I've got all the beans in. Now I'm just going to add in my rotel and try not to do what I did with the beans. Holding tightly onto my can today. Well, right now. So that's the rotel. And I'm going to bring this up to a simmer. And we're going to let it simmer for about 30 minutes or so. We'll see how it is. And last but not least, don't forget the garlic. I'm crushing up 2 smaller bulbs. So while my chili is simmering away for the next half an hour or so, I'm going to flour it up. Finish this off. I am going to add some milk into here, just a little bit, get that mixed in. Gonna add in my faux cream cheese, get that in there. And I'm going to add in the star of the show, the chicken. Get that in there as well. Both cans. And get that warm through, and as soon as that is warm through, we can eat. And there it is, dinner tonight. White chicken chili. I sprinkled a little bit of mozzarella cheese that I had in the fridge on it. And we'll sprinkle some on top as well for a garnish, as well as those peppers that I chopped up that I had left over in the fridge as well. So that's going to be tonight's dinner. White chicken chili. Wouldn't it remind me, while I was waiting for my cornbread to finish up, what did I forget to put in here? My Swiss chard. So I'm going to just add it right on in here. Get that in. Get it in there. It's already defrosted, so yeah, won't take no time at all to get it incorporated in here, warmed up, and by that time, cornbread should be out of the oven. Let it cool for a few minutes, and this will be ready to go. Cornbread's cooled. I cut into it, as you can see, and that's tonight's dinner: white chicken chili, and I just topped it with a bit of cheese. That's mozzarella cheese, a little shake of cayenne pepper, and then some banana peppers. Everything from the pantry. And then some homemade cornbread on the side, from scratch, all from the pantry. Kidney beans. This is the navy beans. Whoops, you don't want to do that. Thank you so much for watching, friends. That's the end of our pantry challenge for 2026. But if you haven't subscribed and you're still watching, please subscribe. And click that notification bell to be notified when I upload videos. God bless, and remember, stay safe and keep prepping.